The clip I'm about to play shows two white officers stopping and arresting a black man for domestic violence. It starts by one officer asking the other, "Is that the dude?" And his partner saying, "Probably."
Roger. Is it this dude? Probably. It's a good LPR. 2 minutes, yeah.
Turn around for me.
What?
Turn around.
What?
Turn around.
Why?
Turn around because I told you to. Turn around.
What are you doing, bro? I live here.
All right, we got a call. We got a. Okay, man. I don't know who I'm looking for yet.
No,
Come
why
on,
are you
step,
doing this
step.
in the middle of the street?
Turn around, man. What is your problem, dude? Turn around, dude.
Bro. You don't have no reason to do this to me. Relax.
What are you doing,
I don't
man?
know what you're doing to me, bro.
What are you
Relax.
doing?
I'm trying to tell you,
What
I
is
live
your
here,
problem? Get up
What's
against
your
the
problem?
wall.
Look what you're doing to me.
Jeez.
Hey, Michelle!
Jeez, dude.
The problem is the officers hadn't been given a description of their assailant. They're literally just stopping a random black guy taking out his trash. They thought he was a criminal for no other reason than the color of his skin. And you see, probably is the problem. Officer Lohman thought Tamir Rice was probably a criminal. George Zimmerman thought Trayvon Martin was probably up to no good. And Judge Mary Shaw thought there was probably a drug dealer in Breonna Taylor's apartment when she signed the warrant without sufficient evidence. I could point out the blatant abuse of power, but I'd rather dig a little deeper into the root issue of probably, which leads to racial profiling. And that's implicit bias, aka unconscious bias. Implicit bias is a term to describe when we have attitudes towards people or associate stereotypes to them without our conscious knowledge. This means you can genuinely believe you aren't racist while in fact being very much racist. And this is the perfect example. So why do these officers automatically think criminal when they saw a black person? Well, this isn't new to me. When I was 19, I moved to Kansas City and didn't have a car. So my coach let me drive his cherry red hardtop convertible. I loved the car, but I got pulled over a lot. I thought of myself as quite a slick talker because as often as I was pulled over, I rarely received a ticket. When this came up in conversation, people told me it was just because I was black, but I would just laugh it off. I was 19 and naive. It was only after being pulled over so often by the Lenexa Police Department that I realized that it was because I was black. I took the car to the dealership and traded it out for a Prius, which magically solved the problem. Because of this, I still drive a Prius to this day. You see, black people are 20% more likely to be stopped than white drivers. Black drivers were searched twice as often as white drivers, even though they're statistically less likely to be carrying guns, drugs, or other illegal contrabands compared to their white peers. Black men comprise of 13% of the US population, but we make up 35% of all men behind bars in the US. So, why are people of color disproportionately represented in prison? Well, probably because we are disproportionately stopped and harassed by the police due to unconscious bias. Implicit bias isn't new. Actually, it isn't even exclusive to police officers. It's the root cause of many systematic issues in the US. Take employment, for example. Job applicants with white-sounding names are 50% more, receive 50% more callbacks for interviews than applicants with black-sounding names. I once had a white friend innocently ask, why don't black people just name their children white-sounding names? But I'll address assimilation at a later time. If you have children, find out your school's expulsion rates by demographic and see if students of color aren't disproportionately represented there as well. Yes, there's a problem with explicit racism, but there's even a larger problem with the silent but deadly implicit racism. The officer that said probably when he saw a black man taking out his trash would likely pass a lie detector test claiming he wasn't racist. This is how unconscious our biases can be. And I'll leave you with this. LAPD fought the release of this video as it would have a chilling effect on its department when it comes to public trust. It seems the police department is more invested in protecting its image than it is the public it serves. I've had many white people reach out and ask how they can be a help, how they can make a difference. Well, if you truly want to be an ally, educate yourself on the issues that affect us all. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch films, and more important than anything else, use your voice to advocate for change. If we continue to sweep these problems under the rug, we'll continue to trip over them. Probably.